Good morning, everybody. It's Mr. Mulvihill here. Welcome to May. We made it. Let's check out what we got going on here today. We're gonna look at key features of graphs. Um, Last week we did domain and range from a graph, and now we're gonna find some key features of graphs, like where it's increasing, where it's decreasing, where it's positive, and where it's negative, and then where its maximum values and minimum values are. So here's one warning before we get started. You're always going to use X numbers to describe numbers. It's critical. So let's take a look at number one here. We're going to find where it's increasing. So if we kind of, maybe make a little person here, and they're going to go on this graph. They're going to start at the left. You always start at the left because that's, how we read a book. You read graphs left to right. So if this person's starting on a graph, if he goes on a graph, he's originally going to be going which direction? Down. He's going to start off going down. So we can start off with our decreasing. And we're always going to use X numbers. So where does he start going down? Right at this point. And what X number is that? -6. Comma. And when does he stop going down? Right at this point. And what X number is that? 2. So from -6 to 2. He's going down. Increasing. Once he gets to this point right here, he starts to go up again. We're walking up this hill. So that's green. He's going up. So he's going up from 2 to this point. And what X point is that, right? Always use X numbers for this stuff. 2 to 8. He's going up. All right. So that's that. Now we're going to look, actually, we're going to take a break from positive and negative. I want you guys to pause the video and try increasing and decreasing for this graph right here. So just do increasing and decreasing. Okay, so for this graph, if we have our little person here and we're following him, he's going to start off by going up. He's going to go up until he gets to this point right here. So he starts at this point. What X number is that? That's -6. So it's going to be -6 to 2. And then where is he going down? What X numbers? He starts going down at this X number, which is 2. Then he stops going down at that number, which is 10. All right. Now let's jump back up here to positive and negative, see what that's all about. So for positive and negative, that's talking about like where it is on the graph, not the direction it's going. So positive, I like to think of like this as like this is like the ground. Like here's your grass. This is your grass. Here's the sun way up here. I haven't seen the sun in forever. That sun in the sky there, that's a tough beast to find. But so the sun is right up there. It's all the things above the graph. So if we look at this graph here, it's going to be positive from this point all the way to right here. Then we start to go underground. So underground we can do with like dirt because it's below the ground. It's negative. You're below the ground. So you're still below the earth right here, and then when you creep up to the last part of this graph, you exit the dirt, and you're now positive again. You're above the ground. So to write where we're positive, we'll still use our X numbers. So we start being positive right there at -6, and we stop being positive at 1. We stop being positive at 1. I usually open parentheses there because we're technically not positive at 1. We're 0. And we're also going to we're going to create this union sign, this big U right here. Union means there's another area that is positive. It's positive over in this area right here. So that's from 4 to 8. And where is it negative? So where is the dirt happening? Well, where does it start happening? The dirt starts happening right there, right at -1. Right? And then it stops being dirt. It stops being negative at 4. All right? Positive and negative are a little trickier than increasing and decreasing. Why don't you guys try the increasing or the positive and negative for number 2? So you can pause the video and try that out. All right, so it's going to be positive from this point all the way through to this point. That's where it's above the grass. And it's above the grass from -4 to 8. We're going to use open parentheses for positive and negative here. And then for negative, where is it below the grass? Where is it the dirt? So that's from this point, which is -6 to 4. Union, because there's another section, we're going to also, that basically means and, that you, from 8 to 10. Hard bracket around the 10 because 10 is negative, where 8 isn't, it's neutral. All right, maximum and min values. So the maximum value on this graph is just where it's the highest up. So we kind of destroyed this graph a little bit, but this was the highest point on your graph. So the maximum is 10. And we can also say it occurs when x equals 8. Because I know we said we're always going to use x numbers to describe features. The maximum min values are really like technically y numbers, the highest up. So it is 10, but it's good to include that x number there. So it occurs when x is 8. We hit that highest point on our graph of 10. And the minimum is the lowest point, and that would be -4. And that occurs when x equals negative, when x equals 2. Right here. That's the min. And that's the max. All right. The maximum value here is going to be right at the top of this curve right here, and that happens at 3. Well, the max is 3. It happens when x equals 2. And the minimum, this is the lowest point on the graph. It's -4. It occurs when, what's the x number at -4 there? -6. All right. So that's that right there. If we were to look at one more, skipping over 3, let's just take a look at number 4 real quick. Increasing, decreasing, positive, negative, max, minimum, domain, and range. Try to put it all together, then we'll go over the answers. So pause the video, give it a shot. All right, so increasing. Right away, the graph is increasing. This one's kind of weird. Since there's an arrow here, this line technically keeps going, which means we were always increasing. We were increasing from the very beginning. Way over here, what x number is that? As you keep going, it's going to be from -infinity all the way to 2. Decreasing from 2 until forever. So 2 to infinity. Careful, this is going to be positive infinity because it's decreasing in this direction, and this is positive numbers forever. All right, where's the graph positive? Well, it's positive from -2 to 6, right in this area. And then where's the graph negative? It's negative from -infinity to -2, and also in this area. So from 6 onward. And then the maximum value is going to be 3, and it occurs when x equals 2. Technically, there's no minimum value. You might want to say negative infinity, but you can't really get to negative infinity, so that's not a minimum value. You would never be able to count to that number. All right, finally, the domain and range. If you remember from last time, the domain are all the x numbers, so that's the farthest left to right, and that's going to be negative infinity to infinity, because it keeps going out on the left and right. And the range, the smallest point down is negative infinity, and the tallest point up is 3. Hard bracket around the 3 because we can get there. All right, a lot of details here. I would just focus on, getting these numbers correct. -6 and 2, and the details are like what goes on the endpoints. It's a hard bracket if you can include the number, and it's this open parentheses if you can't include it. All right, so give these a shot. Let me know if you need help, and have a good rest of your day and good weekend. Happy Mother's Day too. Bye-bye.